All right, guys. I want to let you know I am recording this podcast with Anchor. It is amazing. I have delayed doing a podcast for a long time, just like not knowing where to start or how to start. And I found this app. It's free. They distribute everything for you. So, like to Spotify, Apple, everywhere, it does it for you. And you don't have to do anything except hit the record button and get weird. So, I highly recommend this app. In order to get it yourself, just download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. You're gonna love it. Do it. Hello.
Hey, we finally made it.
This is so exciting. I'm so happy.
I'm super pumped.
How are you?
Good. How are you? Can you hear me? Are we good?
Yeah, I hear you great. Every
Oh,
now and again, it does a weird thing, but I don't know if that's me or
I'm
it
also
happened
moving.
earlier.
So,
Okay.
so
Like
I'm like,
moving, like literally moving? Like, are you moving?
no,
Or your
like
body's
moving my
moving?
body, like I'm in my office right now, like moving my shit around. So, like, if you hear background noise, it's probably just me being a
Okay.
dumbass. And I'm about to smoke a bowl. So,
Yes! Oh my God. Can we just make this our episode? We're like recording
yeah,
now.
let's
Oh my
fucking do
God.
it.
I love it. That's
Yeah, I'm about to
awesome.
smoke a bowl. So, what are you up to?
Well, I'm just kicking it. Like welcome to Awaken Divinity, the podcast where I talk to friends getting high.
Yes. Oh, I'm so fucking proud of you. You have no idea. I've been like watching you from afar and well, I'm pretty sure you've been seeing me like Facebook stalking you and shit. But like I've been watching your shit. Like you're doing big things.
Back at you. I definitely like love it's so funny how we people that you've never met, like I have such like a love for you, and when I see you
Dude,
succeed, I'm and genuinely like, yeah, she's doing it because you're so genuine and kind and loving and just like such a good
oh,
spirit. So like I
love you.
I dig it. I like I so I yeah, and I stalk you too, and I see you doing your stuff, and I'm like, damn, I want to go to Oregon, but I don't need to go to Oregon to get a reading. Wait, are you in Oregon or Washington?
I'm in Washington, so
You're in Washington.
come on,
That's
baby.
awesome.
Yeah, no, you and hell yeah, we could definitely like work together and shit. I
Yeah.
would love to just
Let
like
me
pick your brain.
let me tell
Sorry.
people who's here because this may be the thing. Fuck it, right?
Yeah, let's
Because I
do
have
it.
time. So I have Tia here, and she is with Northwest Intuition. She's a psychic, a medium. Do you do energy work too? I know you do a lot about with
Yes.
mudras, and I feel like she kind of encompasses it all. And I
Yeah.
remember a reading that I had from her, and she was like a little mini reading because we did live readings. Anyway, so
Mhm.
she told me my crown chakra had like a lotus, and it was like illumined, and ever since I was like, yes. I
Hell
was like, I
yeah.
will wear that crown chakra with my lotus flopping.
Get it, bitch. I'm so proud of you. Like, yeah, I would call it just like a smorgasbord of fucking channeling. Like, to be honest, sorry if you guys don't
Yeah,
like swearing. I have a potty mouth.
I
Oh,
love it.
okay, good. We're good.
Yeah.
We're friends,
Yeah,
right?
we're cool. Yeah. Is
Yeah,
this
it's just kind of a clusterfuck. I mean, the whole
yeah.
point is there's a message out there, and either we're not seeing it or it's not being delivered the right way, and that's what I'm here for, is to say, hey, you got shit to do. Let's stop lollygagging. Let's get her
Yeah.
done. Yeah,
Yeah, I love it. I
it's
like that style too. It's very like straightforward and fun. So tell me, how did you like get to this place where you are? Have you always been like awakened and seeing things, or did like you have a little process?
yeah, no, definitely no. I just recently, within the last 5 years, have put the whys to what's been happening in my life. So, in all honesty, like the first, I'd say 20 years of my life, I'm 30 now. So the first 20 years of my life were like a fucking roller coaster, to be honest.
Mm,
I just spent a lot of time having a lot of my traumas and shit happening to me versus like riding the waves and learning the lessons. So recently, like with maturing and realizing that oh, hey, this might be a gift or this might be a talent, you should check it out. Like I've been able to develop it that way. But it definitely came to a breaking point. I did think I was going crazy for a little while there. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's so funny. I was talking to somebody else today, and like so many of us that have come to the place like where we are now, right, have had
Hmm.
so much like trauma. It's like we had to have trauma in order to like be forced to seek outward, and clearly we know we chose whatever
Yes.
we've had to deal with. And god, I have so many moments where I remember, oh, that was a little chance to awaken, that was a chance, that
Yeah.
was a chance, that was a chance, and all those
Oh
things that
yeah.
I didn't take. But it's like because I dabbled in like astrology when I was in high school and I was really into it. And but then I like let the man put me down and say that that's dumb, right? When it's like
Right?
one of the most
Society.
ancient, like like I don't know what to call it, like maps, right? It's a
Yeah.
map of your soul, and it's legit. It's like when you really dive deep and do it, it's so legit. It's so funny. The first astrology, um,
Just 1 second. Just 1 second. My daughter comes busting in here.
I love it.
She says,
We're just
"Sorry,
living
y'all."
real life.
I have kids. They do their thing. But yeah, we're in privacy now. But
Okay.
yeah, no, the traumas are just fucking wild.
Hmm.
In all honesty, I think as because do you talk to about yourself in the terms of like a light worker, or is that what you would?
Like I don't, but I know that that's what I am. I don't. I say spiritual alchemist. I don't know. That's like
Yeah, no,
something.
that's it makes more sense. Like we're
Yeah.
all here of a higher vibration, and in
Hmm.
order for us to reach our audience and to reach other people, I find that a lot of readers go through trauma early in life, so that when we
Yeah.
are in session, we can almost bring ourselves down to that vibration in order to meet them where they're
Ooh.
at.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, the sitter. So it's all it if you look back at your life, you can see that it was done for a purpose. And then
Hmm.
you'll start to see through clientele and people coming into your life or just happenstance, you start to see, oh, they mirror what I grew up in. So what did I
Oh
do
yeah.
for X, Y,
Hmm.
and Z that I overcame it? How can I help
Hmm.
them? So yeah, it happens to a lot of us readers at a young age, I feel. Sorry
Yeah.
guys, I'm about to smoke a bowl, so you hear a lot. Sorry.
Yes, I love it.
We're
Um,
Yeah, I'm
I'll
in
just
Washington. It's fun.
dude, I want to get out there so bad. It's like the most beautiful, mystical, magical state. I have a friend who has 8 acres, and she's always like, Tiff, come on, come on, come
Yep,
on
you're
down,
more
come
than
on,
welcome,
come on.
sister. I mean,
Yeah.
we get all 4 seasons here. You can really see like the life pattern if you're
Yeah.
into like nature and all that shit. You can see like, oh, we have to have the death of certain things in order to have birth with other things. It's just really calming in your
Yeah,
area.
the new budding. I do like I am somebody that like if I don't have a lot of vitamin D, like sunshine, I have to be out in the sun shining on my body. I feel like I need
Yes.
to live somewhere like Arizona or
Yep.
like so there's like mountains
Yeah.
and sun, and like I'm just always in the sun because I'm a kapha. I don't know if you know about Ayurvedic
Yeah.
medicine, but
Mhm.
I am, so there's 3 doshas, and it's an ancient medicinal thing. It goes along, it's very Eastern medicine. It goes along with the yogic sort of pathway, right? So Ayurvedic medicine is, and they talk about our body types and doshas. And of course, everybody's individual. And like, this is just another construct of like, oh, I'm this, so I have to eat that. But what I like about it, what resonates is like, because of a kapha body, you are like where I'm curvy, I'm a little bit heavier, I'm weighed down more. It's funny, I really desire like sweets and ice cream and stuff like that, but those are the
Yep.
things that are worse for me, and I need to activate. So when my calf is in balance, like in the summertime, I'm okay because I'm balanced. But in kapha, when it's winter and it's cold and it's wet and it's damp, it just aggravates the kapha and just adds to it. So you have to balance it out by adding fire and like hot
Yep.
things and dry roasted foods. And so I'm like, so then I need to move to Arizona so I can have my fucking ice cream that I want, and I'll be
Basically.
in basking in the dry hot sun, so it'll balance me out.
Spirit, if it was that fucking easy,
Logic, right?
right? Like if it was that easy, why don't you get down here and do it yourself? Okay.
Yeah.
No, I get it. The sun actually, while we're talking about it, I think for you, it's gonna refuel you. You're a energy worker, so
Yeah.
what you're putting
Mm-hmm.
out and taking in is
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of work. I mean, you're holding people's traumas, you're dealing with their good, their bad, the ugly, and it's almost like the sun evaporates it out of the water cells within your body because water retains memory, right?
Yes.
So if you, for your type of read, if you can sweat it out, if you can like get that sun to just dry it out of you, I mean, obviously without getting like too much sun exposure and shit, but if you can just stay on that path, girl, that is going to recharge.
Dude, I love the way of looking at it. Like I never thought of that as like when I'm sweating, when I'm in the hot sun, it's like drying up all that retention, all that memory, all that stuff. And that's probably like it's why I have to be outside. I have to be
Yeah.
in the sun. I like to sweat. I like that.
Well, don't you
Wow.
feel
Cool.
lighter after? Like, don't you, after
Yeah.
you've gotten like a good sweat, like, why do we
Mm,
work out? I mean,
yeah.
it's not because it fucking feels good.
Right.
It releases just so much
Mm-hmm.
within our body. Stress. Like people say, oh, work out when you're stressed. Okay, but why? Like,
Right.
what's the why behind that? Well, you're
Yeah.
probably holding a bunch of bullshit in the water that's being retained in your body,
Mm,
and you're just walking around with it. I
yeah.
mean, what's our body made out of? What is it? I don't know the exact number,
Like
but what
89 5 tenor
something like that, right? Some fucking
percent.
ridiculous number of water. And
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I just watched Frozen 2. Haven't
Uh-huh.
memorized it, but in Frozen 2, Olaf is saying, "Well, your body retains memory when it has
Yeah.
water housed in it,
That
right?"
movie had a lot of information in it. That movie was like awake.
It was intense. I was like, "Do you realize who they're talking to right
Yeah.
now?"
What
Anyways,
is happening?
yeah, but in there he mentioned how like the water passes through at least four other living creatures before it is put through our body. A, that's
Whoa.
gross. B, it's
Yeah.
true. So
Yeah.
that has to hold some effect. Like as an
Yeah.
energy worker, you're taking that in.
Yes.
If you're feeling everyone else's energy, it's being stored somewhere. So for
Mm.
you, sweat would be a release, and maybe the
Yeah.
people coming to you could use that.
Do you know what's funny? So I wonder what this is for me. I struggle with crying. And like I don't know what the blockage is there. It's really weird. So like I'll cry at like if there's a happy movie on, I'll cry. And my son, or like I cried at the Maroon 5 video. This was PMS too. So that also affects me.
Mm-hmm.
That's like when I can cry. But only in happy things. Like if something's sad, I just won't cry. It's weird.
Yeah.
It has to be like maybe devastating. I don't know. And but like I love when I do readings on people and I tune in and I get like a little choked up because I can feel their emotion or feel
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But so yeah, I'm like, well, why? It's such a good release to cry. Like, come on, spirit, I need to
Yeah.
cry. I gotta get this water out.
Yeah. Well, in all honesty, your mode of passage probably isn't through tears. Like I'm a
Mm-hmm.
crier. I could be
Yeah.
angry, cry, happy, cry. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna fucking cry, okay?
Yeah.
But you're so when people come here, spiritual workers, we have a job to do, right?
Yep.
Now, part of that job entails us holding emotions. Now, if we have such a big job to accomplish, part of our body, our signature will say, "Hey, we can't dwell on these human emotions, right? You have a job to do. Yeah, feel this, feel that so you can relate, but get back to work." So it's almost like crying could have been your crutch. Like that could have been your Achilles heel. There it is.
Mm.
Um, you're just above that. You don't need to cry. You don't connect in that way. So if you're feeling any guilt about it, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
You're just a more advanced who understands emotions versus dwells in emotions.
Yeah.
There's a difference. You can
That's
feel it for a moment,
uh-huh.
let it pass.
Yeah, big time.
Does that make
I
sense?
love it. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. And I definitely honed that and was aware of that. Like when I do readings, I let the feeling come over me and I feel the presence of it and then I allow it for a moment and then, release it because it's, professional. But
Hmm.
but yeah, that makes so much sense. Like I have to be, it's almost part of like as a mom, no, Fox fell and hurt himself. I'm not crying about it. Or we're in the
Yeah.
hospital because he had his tonsils out and he's on this pain medicine and he's acting so weird and I'm not crying. My body, I'm just in mode of like just grounded, forward thinking, just like
It's almost
energy.
like you've lived this timeline
Yeah.
before. It's almost like this is very familiar to
Hmm.
you, so you already know what the outcome is on some level, because right, time's not
Yeah.
linear. Okay. So if you've lived this, if you know you're
Hmm.
coming back for work, then maybe it's almost like a
Yeah.
gift, like it's just taking things from
It's
you. You don't need
funny.
it.
I do. Like, I know there's certain things I do know the outcome. Like, I just, and yeah, I mean, it's like this recent awareness that of the
Hmm.
power that it is that I have and that it's like just coming from my super connection to all my selves and my higher self and I'm in tune with it and aware of it. I don't know how long it has existed, but it's just that like
Hmm.
huge strong intuition about people, place. Now it's not everything, there's certain things, you know
Yeah, you just gotta fine
but
tune
like
it.
I definitely, like I do, like I knew my son was going to go to this certain school, I knew we were going to live in this certain house, I knew like I was going to go to a bliss
Hmm.
retreat last year, like all these things I just know the outcome, and even
Yeah.
things that maybe aren't necessarily quote positive or what I want them to be, I know that too. um
Oh, preach, sister. That's the thing about
mhm.
manifesting. If you're good at it, you got to be careful
Yeah.
with it because you just start thinking of
Mhm.
everything and then it actually fucking
Yes.
happens. And you're like, whoa,
Yeah. Yeah, big time.
slow down.
Yeah. And it's so funny. What a lot of stuff. So I noticed about manifesting, I think it has to do with, like you said, with the time with your future self, like knows,
Hmm.
yeah, that's going to happen. And so you kind of lock it into your heart and you just know because your future self's like, yeah, you got this. Just let it go. Don't worry about it. And you just get it. You just know because your future
Yeah,
self's like, yeah, we already got it. It's happened. So it's cool. But then there was like one thing
yeah,
that I wanted and I like fuck it, fuck. I was like, damn it, I got a feeling. I got this feeling. And I knew it wasn't.
yeah,
I'm like, that's my bitch ass future self telling me, stop even trying because this thing's not going to happen because whatever. And I'm like, damn it. And I knew.
because some things just aren't for
Yeah.
us. But yeah, deep down, you're
Yeah.
like, as much as I want this,
Mm-hmm.
my human self wants
Yeah.
this, but the worker soul self inside of me, the being that's here for a mission,
Mm-hmm.
that is here to get shit
Yeah.
done, it doesn't have time to get distracted. That's why you're not getting distracted over your
Yeah.
tears. You're not getting watch. As soon as you start fucking crying again,
Yeah.
you're gonna sit there and worry,
Mm-hmm.
why am I
Yep.
crying?
Why am I
It
crying so
just,
much? So
yeah, it just takes you further and further away from your point and your
do you
purpose.
find you have
With
a separate purpose or mission that's not like your readings, but like have you been channeled? Because I have like this stuff that I do, but then I have this other weird stuff that I do that's not even public. That's part of the mission.
So I channel ET
Yeah.
spirits. I'm just gonna be
Yeah,
out
man.
here and be the one to say it.
Yeah.
Yes, I've
Me
been
too.
working a lot with Palladian energy
Cool.
lately, and it's showing up a lot in my sessions. A lot of people who are unaware of the Palladians, and I'm not even gonna say Palladian because I think that's a crock of shit. I don't think we know their
Yeah.
names. I don't think we even know what we're dealing
Mm-hmm.
with. It's beyond us. It's more
Yeah.
than we can't even fathom it.
Yeah.
Just know that there's something there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I've noticed it's coming a lot across in the sessions I have with clients. Their dream states, they're visiting other
Mm.
worlds and it's familiar. It's a dream that they can go in. And these are people that aren't talented in astro travel. They don't even know what the fuck it
Yeah.
is. They don't know any of this. They're just coming to me because they're saying, "Look, I'm going to sleep and I'm sleeping for 8 to 10 hours and waking up as if I just ran a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get any sleep." It's almost as if we were sent here, and I'm just going to tell you my grand scheme, what I
I dig
feel
it.
is
I'm
going
in.
on.
I want to hear it.
We were sent here because, again, this timeline has already happened, and we either fucked it up or are going to fuck it
Mm-hmm.
up. And we're here to lift energy as energy healers. So I feel like with our bodies and with our mass, a lot of energy can be trapped. And us as energy readers, we're here to just pass it along and say, hey, you got to keep this moving because we're trying to move forward. Now, that's a whole other thing. Now, what you're talking about, there's a thing I call like the grand scheme. Like we have to stay, I feel like we have to stay on schedule for something,
Yes.
right?
Even though
That's
time
what I'm
doesn't matter, there still is like an order of operations, sort of like you have
Yes.
to do things in a certain sequence in a certain time, and it does matter, which is so strange. I'm like, that doesn't make sense, but yes, you're right, totally. Like yes, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, and no, that makes perfect sense. It's almost like it doesn't make sense, but it
Yeah.
does. It's like, yeah, time's not linear, but then again, if you were to take that, so when people say time's not linear, they are often drawing a little line because time to us has a beginning and has an end. So when they say it's not linear, instead of drawing that line, you would go ahead and root or just loop that right back around and join where you
Yeah.
started. So that almost creates a circle. So it's almost like we're on a constant cycle of something, right?
Yes. I don't know
Does
why I
that
made
make
that
sense?
gremlin noise. Yes. Yes,
Yes.
totally. Yeah. Oh, I love it. You're like you're bringing down all these visuals and downloads that I had, that I like was talking with another friend and channeling, and like the loop
Yeah.
thing, like yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's almost like we're on a loop. That's why we feel like we're not in the right place or we are in the right place at the right time,
Yeah.
either or. We have something to reference.
Right.
So if there's something to reference, even if it's just a feeling, that tells me somewhere deep down that we've been here before.
Yeah. And that's why,
We
like, so everything. So we have the moon cycle. We have so we're on this loop. It's like all loops. We have patterns, and what are patterns? Patterns repeat,
menstrual
right? Mental.
cycles.
Everything is the cycle, the spiral of life. It goes and goes and goes. All of these circular, repetitive things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I definitely
Well, fuck.
resonate
Yeah.
with that. The vision that I had was, so we like went up into galactic area, realm, whatever, like up, and then we were at this big table, and it was weird. In the background there
Yes.
was this audience, right? And it was almost like a class, like a college, like a thing like that. And there was this table and everybody was watching, like you'd see a TED talk, and like, but there was this table and there was a bunch of, I was at the table,
Like
and there were all
beings
these,
behind there,
yeah, all
right?
these beings. But then this holographic thing came up in the center, and it was like a grid, like a matrix kind of grid thing. It wasn't like the matrix that we talk about. It was like its own.
No, but it's
And
like a grid.
yeah,
Like if yeah,
and
I
we
get it.
looped it. So like I saw the two ends of it being needing to be like looped together and linked together, this matrix thing. And I was like, what is happening? We're like
Yep.
manipulating it, moving it around, and like, and I was like, this is cool.
But what's tight about that, because it's very familiar to what I had, I didn't have the holograph or hologram. Fuck, can't even say it.
I think it's holograph.
I
I
didn't
think
have
you're
that.
right. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, I don't fucking know. One of the two. They'll tell us. But in mine, I didn't have that, but I did have the like, it was almost like you walked up to a desk, like there was definitely a front of the room, there was an audience behind you. It's almost like we were in line, like getting our reasons why. And I want to say it's very similar to a DMT trip. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
Yeah.
So when you were talking about moving it back to, like you mentioned, you saw him in the grid and like you were moving
Yeah.
something. Like we were moving a part of him. Is that what you were
No,
mentioning?
we were moving the actual grid thing, the holograph graph grid
Mm-hmm.
thing, whatever. We like took it, instead of it being like a square or linear or whatever, we took the two ends and looped them together, and of this grid thing.
It's almost like we're joining dimensions
Yes.
almost.
Oh yeah. Joining dimensions. And that was it. It was like, oh I can't remember what it was, but there was
Right?
something about it and it made sense. And I'm like, we have to bring these things together. Like, we have to come from here. Oh, no, maybe it was like a different selves. Oh, okay. So different dimensions, right? So like yourself in one dimension and yourself in another dimension coming together, meeting at this one point, right? This point and
Yep.
this place and time. And with whatever your downloads have been of what you do, and you make them meet by following, if both of these selves of yours along with the higher self like are
Yeah.
following the signs in like the proper order, and you do this thing, it's like people are like, what the fuck are they talking about?
No, I totally, believe it or not, I get
Yeah.
it. And I honestly think that second person is our higher
Yeah.
self. So say we did this timeline and we went through and it went fucking fabulous,
Yeah.
right? Great. Like, this is the all end, you know? Well, there's that reference point. We'll say we did this timeline and it went to shit. Like, totally tits up. There's that reference point.
Yes.
Well, if I was a higher self, I would come down and try to encourage myself, who is on this timeline again, to go in this fashion, right? Well, to go towards the better
Mm-hmm.
one, right? That's what our higher selves, you know? Our lower selves would want to bring us towards the bullshit
Mm-hmm.
side. This is where the world's going. Let's get everyone on the bandwagon,
Yeah.
right? What I think and why people balance the good and evil higher and lower is that these timelines have already played out, and now we're coming here saying, hey, come over my side, come over to my side. And what all of us healers are here for is to sort of raise that vibration and say, because that's what depicts it, is vibration. You can have a low vibration, which will depict your lower
Mm-hmm.
timeline, or a high vibration, which will lift it up,
Yeah.
right? I feel like we're here for. That's why I feel like the advanced are coming back and saying, hey, you don't have to dwell in this emotion and sit at that vibration. You can work through it and raise your vibration, therefore raising the planet in a collective. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
absolutely. And I know, like, I know, I know that when we individually, we're so connected to each other with like this unity consciousness that we're coming into, the 6D energy, and we're so connected to each other, right? And to Gaia, to the earth, and just to the all, that when one of us, just one of us, begins to elevate and raise our vibration, it is affecting, it like triggers and
Mm-hmm.
affects the planet. It affects Gaia. It is assisting her when we do it. It like almost, it's because we're so connected. It's almost like I do something in me and it affects something in her, and it shifts in her, and then we get like another new download over here, and then it's like we're all doing our part and it's affecting each other in more ways than we really realize. Not just that we're carrying
Mm-hmm.
a higher vibration, um that too, but also almost we're like activating these keys or these codes, and like
Yeah.
and just doing so much more just by paying attention. And every time we
Yeah.
release, every time we do this, every time we have an awareness of a
It's
pattern
leveling
pop
up,
up.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's leveling up. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's a ripple effect, is what it is.
Yeah.
And every time we start with ground zero, which is ourself, we create an example.
Mm-hmm.
We create a goal point for somebody
Yeah.
else. So all of our lives, or most of our lives, will go through thinking, who's going to save me? Who's going to fix me? Who's going to give enough shits about my troubles? And to be 100% honest, no one gives a fuck
Yeah.
about you, your problems, your troubles. They care about themselves, as it should be. We are supposed to care about ourselves so that it can ripple effect out.
Yes.
Okay? Can't give away from an empty cup.
Right.
All right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're working on ground zero, you're working on yourself, you're raising your vibration, people are going to catch on to that and they're going to say, "Well, how are you doing this? You were at this level before. You were such a bitch before all this. What happened? Why are you all like sassy Sally, just happier than shit?
Mm-hmm.
What happened? What did you change in your life? You know? And people are going to come to you and you're going to give them the example. That's where
Yeah.
your ripples,
Yeah.
right? This is a cool fucking
It
process if
is.
people lighten up a little bit.
I've Yeah,
right?
exactly. Lighten up, and also don't beat yourself up either, man, because you're in a 3D body, bro. Like, you're gonna be angry sometimes. You're gonna
Yeah.
have sass sometimes. You're gonna have
Ride the wave.
sensual feelings sometimes. Like, what the fuck ever it is, you are in this body for a reason. So you're gonna feel these
Yeah,
emotions. You can't hate on yourself because you chose to be in a 3D avatar. You're not floating around like an orb of light all up in the cosmos. You're on Earth, bro. So, like, know that you're on Earth, and
yeah,
you can have both. You can have both. You're supposed to have both. Otherwise, you would not be here. You need to bring down this, like, these information and this awakening and shine your light, but you're doing it in this physical body. And so there will be times when
yeah,
you're physical, and that's fine, and that's okay. And
yeah,
so, but the thing is that we've been taught to beat ourselves up over it, to judge ourselves for it, and that's the conditioning that has to go. That's what has to go.
yeah. Well, it's what sucks is the conditioning around our
Mm-hmm.
whys. So at the beginning of time, we knew our whys. It's in all of our old ancient texts, this is why we're feeling this way. This is why we're connected to the moon. It's
Mm-hmm.
written. It's society, religion, all that bullshit that comes into play that says, no, you can't feel this way because it'll, right? It's it's always about other people when people need to start worrying about themselves,
Yeah.
their experience, and what they're going to bring to the table. Now, it doesn't mean that this world isn't going to level up just because not everyone's a believer, but it's going to take people like you and me putting in work. It's almost like we have a group project in college, and the person that was supposed to type the whole thing up just kind of ditched, and now we have to pull everything out in one night. This is us. This is our night, right? It's almost like the planet procrastinated so long. We we woke up. We are here doing all the dirty fucking work for other people.
Yeah.
That's the difference. There's the people living here, dwelling in the
Mm-hmm.
bullshit, and then the people riding waves and learning from
Yeah.
it. It's almost like right now they have to pick their side. Am I gonna let the world attack me, or am I gonna attack the world back?
And this shift is happening in those that are like sticking to, the 3D and not changing. Like, those of us that are really realizing the truth of what's happening, we're it's gonna shift. We're gonna know. We're gonna notice. We're gonna feel the difference, and it's kind of gonna
You already
it's gonna separate. And yeah, you're right. It already is. It's like it's already
like
separating.
I just a couple years ago, even with the lab, I fucking love the
Yeah.
lab, but like I noticed the shift in people,
Mm-hmm.
you know, people who just couldn't hang with this
Yeah.
vibration. There is a separation. It's people are starting to fall off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to us to decide whether or not we want to pick them up and bring them on the ride with us, or if we want to just stick on our mission.
Yeah.
And that's where it's the hard thing as healers
Mm-hmm.
is we want to help
Yeah.
everybody. We got to start setting
Mm-hmm.
boundaries.
Yeah, that's tough, dude. That's so tough. I've had instances like where I I had a client who wanted so much, so much, so much, but she wasn't it it wasn't like, I think it was both ways. It felt like she didn't want to hear what I had to say, but maybe I was too
Mm-hmm.
much I was more in the maybe I wasn't really seeing her. I don't know what it was at the time, but I had to set up a
Mm-hmm.
boundary, and that was so uncomfortable. And I think the boundary was not only for me, but also for her, because she wasn't getting what she needed from me at that time. And so the boundary was for both of us. It was like, this isn't
Yeah.
working. So we have to kind of, I have to put it down, and it's so uncomfortable to do because, like, you don't want to not be liked. And
Well, it's practice in all honesty,
yeah.
because you're going to get more of those
Oh
situations.
yeah.
And the sooner you can cut them off, the more energy you can save for someone who will take your
Oh
advice, who
yeah.
will listen to you.
So
This
I have,
this is hard
yeah,
work.
like, there's been times where people just like, also it's like a balance. Like, you're quote a light worker or whatever, and you're like, you it's like how people wanting more from you than, and if this is, I get paid for this is
Oh,
my job, and so I have to again be like, well, if you'd like to book a reading, please go here. It's just like,
exactly. As long as you have like your sentences
yeah.
set in place, because there are energy vampires
Hmm.
that will try to get readings out of you,
Yeah.
but they don't understand what we're going through. They don't understand that after every mediumship reading, I come home sicker than
Yeah.
shit. I literally will throw up. I will have the shits. I will have the
Hmm.
shakes. We're taking on the trauma, and it's taking away from our family. It's taking away from our work.
Yeah.
Because now, like for example, I have to quit one of my jobs because sessions are taking over.
Yeah.
So like it's
That's
it
awesome, by
if
the
I wasn't
way.
getting
Yes.
paid, oh, I'm so fucking excited.
Yes. I
Hey,
see it. I'm like, yes, dude, I love it. I just love it, man. That's all.
beautiful. But I wouldn't be able to quit that job if I wasn't charging,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah,
I would
exactly.
be seriously taking away from my family, taking away from my
Right.
place of business and work,
Hmm.
just be giving, giving, giving and not
Right.
receiving. Well, my kids need the lights,
Yeah.
we have to have food, we have to have water. It's an energy. And if people can't agree with that, if they can't
Right.
see that is an investment
Hmm.
towards their healing in your craft, then they aren't going to listen to your messages, and it's just a sign at the door that they need to be
You
gone.
know what? Also, like, I've paid for, even after seeing my, I've still pay for readings from other people because I like to exchange readings now. I'm lucky that I get to do that. I have the ability to do that.
Yeah,
But like, I
it's fun.
still will pay for sessions from other people. I will, like, I think I'm done taking courses because I just have, like, I'm just getting so much straight from the source. But
Yeah,
I
you don't need courses at
yeah,
all. You're
exactly. Um
and that's what I'm finding. My whole clientele, they're coming to me and they're like, I swear to God, like these people, I just don't feel right.
mhm.
Like it's almost like they're being judged.
Yeah.
Like, you know, just be yourself, channel what you channel, be authentic, go give advice on what you've lived, you know.
Yeah.
This that's going to be your bread and butter. People are coming to you because of your energy. They
Hmm.
love your spirit. They love how they feel after your sessions.
Exactly.
And that's what's going to be your bread and butter. Like how you make them feel.
And trusting what you're getting, like what pops out of you, what excites you. If something doesn't, then don't go there, don't do it. And that goes for
It's not
anyone.
your thing.
That's just like,
Yeah.
that's like, if you I noticed, like, for me, I did an Akashic Records course, and eh I mean,
Ooh.
I tap into the Akashic Records, but like the whole process of, and all, and the it just ended up, it's not for me. It's not like the that
Yeah.
aspect of it. Now, do I tune into that energy? Yes. Do I give an extensive Akashic Record reading? No. My style is its own thing. It has energy work in it. It has intuitives. It has channeled. It has,
Right.
I go bonkers off the wall and I start like flying off the handles and like get all preachy. And then I'm like, oh wait, we need to do this in your chakra. It's like a whole thing. And
It's never the same, and
yeah.
you couldn't. For example, I always tell someone, if you were to do my job, I couldn't tell you how to do the
Right.
next session because I
Yeah.
don't know. Does
Yeah,
that make
exactly.
sense?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how the next session's gonna
Yeah.
go,
But like, I do
you
love
know?
the people that, so um like, I here, I'm just trying to, like, here, this is the truth, Tia. I'm Tia,
Hmm.
Tianna. Why did I say Tia? I'm
Oh, that's what I get called,
Oh,
so you're
maybe
good.
that's why. I'm just like getting confused right now.
Yeah.
All right, so like, all right, so I said the thing about the Akashic Record course, and I'm like, well, now I don't want to, the person who I took it from, like, I really liked her, and I got a reading from her, and I think she's great, and I don't want her to think, if she hears this podcast, her to think that I'm talking shit on her course. Her course was awesome. I'm just saying that style of stuff's not for me because I'm too crazy, flowy, astral person, and I can't be structured. I don't want to be structured and pinned down to structure. It has nothing to do with her. So here I am cycling through this pattern of like
Yeah.
not wanting to be like seen the wrong way. It's so fucked
Yeah.
up.
And right there, as soon as you let
Yeah.
go of that, as soon as you not As soon as you start to not give a
Mm-hmm.
fuck, because part of you is good. That part
Yeah.
is great. Yeah, you would care about her. But if she, and hi, honey, if you're listening, but if you're at the level of teaching such an important course, then you got to understand that not every course is for
Yeah.
everybody. And and just because you taught it doesn't mean it's your
Yeah.
teaching.
Oh yeah, no,
Okay? Let me
she's totally like that.
yeah.
She wouldn't do that. But I've found myself no, and I'm aware of it, noticing like that pattern of mine, and it's coming up a lot, and I think it's because I have to take a look at it, what that's about, because like the other day I spent all morning with a mom friend, and we like did cool stuff. We planned a workshop that we're doing, and then we got to school to pick up our kids, and I knew in my head she's going home because she didn't say this, but I know her pattern. She's going home because her daughter has to nap and blah 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 blah. But so like right in front of her, I invited another friend to go play, right? And then I was like, shit, I gotta
Mm-hmm.
tell Lauren that the reason that like, why do I have to tell her? Why
Yeah,
do I have to tell her that? Because I didn't invite her too.
yeah,
Like
you
it's
don't.
just like a weird thing that I'm finally like noticing, like wanting to
Mm-hmm.
please people so much and not make them feel left out or feel sad or like be upset, or is it really about me, you know what I mean? So it's like, all right, this thing has to be looked
I
at.
think that's just you worrying about their
Yeah.
lessons,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh
We often
snap.
like stay in relationships like
Yes.
I don't want to break up with this guy because I don't want him
Mm.
to hurt. Well, that's his
Yeah.
lesson,
Ooh,
right?
man. Oh, just don't even get me started on that stuff. I got mm, yeah.
Girl, I could go
Yeah,
in.
I got the tarot. I got the tarot cards showing me like the tower and the hanged man and this and that, and I'm
Oh,
like,
foundation.
I know.
Hell yeah, up
Yeah.
leveling. Speaking of that, have you been noticing a lot of couples mingling, like expanding their horizons, no longer like just one or two in
Yes.
the,
Oh
well, I
my
guess two
god, I love
people.
that you're talking about this because I have a friend who I'm gonna put on the podcast. She's like a really good friend of mine, and
Yeah,
she we've discussed this like before, and I have a number of people in my life that do that, and I like find it so I'm so intrigued by it, and I love hearing their stories, and I like get off on it. I'm like, oh my god, tell me more stuff.
right?
I love it.
Right. It's a certain kind of
Yeah.
freedom, you know, that I
Yes.
think we're all being tested with. Like, we're animals, if you
Yeah.
think about it.
And I'm a Gemini.
And
I'm a
that's it.
Gemini Venus. I'm not a Gemini. I'm an Aries, but my Venus is in Gemini. So like,
So,
right. I
yeah.
mean,
So you're screaming it. Yeah. So you're screaming it. Um, like, that makes a lot of
yeah.
sense for you.
Yeah.
It's okay. You're all in your
Yeah.
head, aren't you?
I
Um,
and I like so but I find myself attracted to men and women, like all everything, just like whatever. And
it's,
like if I look at porn, it's chicks. It's like anyway. But
yeah,
but like
it
I
is what it
love
is.
that yeah, I think it's freeing. It's very empowering, and but you have to do it, and I feel like it has to be an awakened man and an awakened woman. Like it has to be, because like
Hmm. Well, it's part of like earning the
yeah.
sacral, right?
Ooh, I like that.
Part of being
Mhm.
grounded, part of being on this planet. Like, what do you like? How can you expect? And that's that ground
Mhm.
zero theory. How can you expect anyone to please you if you don't even know how to please yourself,
Yes.
right? It all starts from inside out. What you could have liked 10 years prior, you could not like
Yeah.
now. You
Mhm.
know, I mean, hell, your whole body is different
Yeah.
cell wise. You're a whole other fucking
Mhm.
person. You could have like bonded and being fucking tied to the wall or something previous, and then now you
Yeah.
like feathers. I don't know. Right?
Yep.
Right? It's different, but you just don't know until you explore that part of yourself. And I feel like a lot of people are starting to explore outside of their relationships, outside of their marriages. It's almost like it's been happening so often that it was frowned upon before and it was considered cheating, but now people are starting to be more open and more honest. They're starting to say, hey, I'm craving other people, but I
Yeah.
still love you. It's weird. I don't know how to,
Yeah.
like, communication is really starting
Mhm.
to pick up between people. And I think that's going to be a part of what helps raise this vibration that we need in order to steer on our path.
Yeah,
Does that make
absolutely.
sense?
I was actually in a relationship prior to my marriage, and we like we we wanted to do that. We like found a girl, and we like invited her to meet us, and like she never showed up, so it didn't happen.
Yep.
But I like when I
Oh
used to
no.
drink, I would get weird and do whatever. But like doing it sober, like we're
Yeah.
both sober people, so doing that sober was like its own kind of empowering thing. You know what I mean? To make that decision. And that wasn't like a good relationship, and I wasn't even like in the state I am now, and I probably was doing it.
It was
It was
more for
well,
you.
I probably was doing it to please him at the time, you know what I mean? But now if I were to do that, it would be
It would be more for you,
yeah,
yeah.
for sure. For sure.
Yeah, it's almost like you need to let your freak
Mm-hmm.
flag fly.
Yeah.
That's what I've been telling a lot
Yeah.
of people. I've noticed like with sessions, you'll get people that have similar
Yeah.
situations, around each other. And a lot of couples recently are just like, it needs something different needs to happen.
That's so funny. I'm people. I've. There's people surprising me. I'm just like, oh, I didn't know about that person. Yeah, I dig it, man. That's hot. And then I'm like, oh,
Like,
wow, okay. Then I get.
and then it just shows us, the people telling everyone else to live their lives, and we're just over here like watching it.
Well, yeah. So we'll have our own private. No, if I was in an open marriage, I would be, well, if it was okay with my husband, I'd be comfortable talking about it. But we're in our own space. He'll probably not even listen to this. We're in our own. We've had some. There's been some a lot of trauma, and so that there's like not even anything going on
Yep.
in our bedroom alone, and he would love that, and I am just boundaries, like trust has to be there. So
Well, yeah, that's not your guys'
yeah.
story, and that's not now for you.
Yeah.
But it can be for you in the future if you decide to work that
Oh
way.
yeah. I feel like after this, like we're gonna need to schedule just like a one-on-one little like reading read through.
Let's trade. Let's do
Definitely,
it.
I love it. I'm feeling it. I'm like, yes. Because I love
Hell
your
yeah.
style, and I'm just like, oh, I want to see what she sees and what she's got to say, because I feel it. I feel like for me,
Fuck
I
yeah.
know for a fact I'll be 40 on April 10th. It's the year of 2020. So I don't know what you know about numerology, bro, but this is my pinnacle year. So we have pinnacle years. Depending on your life path number is the age
Yep.
range. So I'm in my second or third pinnacle, one of the two, and it's like the year of fucking death, or like a baby major transformation, like Phoenix rising from the ashes, or some crazy bad shit, like whatever. And then also it's a life path. The year, you can do like your year, like what's your year? You take you change the 20, turn it to 2020 instead, whatever. You know what I mean? So like my year is a 9, which is also, so 2020, I'll be 40, and it's my pinnacle year, and it's a 9, and 9 is like the end, and then the finishing of cycles, and then expanding into new.
Yeah, the finale. Yeah, it's almost to the 10 and tarot. Yeah.
So like, whoa, I feel like 22. I just know.
You got some big shit coming. Without saying too much on air. Like, yeah, you got some shifts. You got some shifts moving underneath you, and in all honesty, and I'll say this right here, you will not be in the same place next year. And I know that sounds really fucking corny for any person to read, like, oh, look at me, I'm a psychic, your life's gonna change. Well, no fucking shit. But it's like, I see like scenery. Like, you're not gonna be looking at the same 4 walls. You're not gonna be looking at the same like area. Does that make sense?
I like it. Yes.
Yeah, like that's what I see coming, and I put money on it. Those of you listening right now, get me in a year. Bet.
Bet. Yeah, I feel. I
Let's
just know.
go.
And so you know what's happening, man? Instead of like worrying and worrying and worrying, not that I worried, but trying to like figure it out, right? And like plan and how, what should I do? Like, I'm just really staying super duper present and flowing, because I'm just like, I'm riding the wave, man. Bro, the universe is like taking me on a trip, and I'm just going with it. And I know.
Oh, you know what I thought of when you said that? I thought of that scene in Pocahontas where she's like standing there and the wind blows through her hair and then all those leaves and shit just like
Yeah.
fly off into the distance.
Yes.
That's like the
Yeah.
theme I get for you. Like,
Uh-huh. I'm
I'm
just like
here.
floating and it's cool. Have you ever seen a spaceship? Like with your eyeballs?
No,
I saw one.
no, I haven't, but I've seen some
All right.
fucking
Yeah.
weird shit. Like, shoot from
Okay,
our
cool. I'm
ground
gonna tell
up.
you a couple of my things, and then I want to hear all your weird shit. I so
Bring it,
one night
sister.
I was upset about something, and I just went outside to the stars, and I was like, help me, come on, just
Hmm.
please help me. I was very like mad and pleading, like, come on, jerks, like what the hell? And then boom, right in the sky, like, fast, super crazy. It was like it revealed itself, this light, and then it shot out of my, it was like whoop, and I was like, oh, fucking all right, that was cool. First time for
Yes.
that. Although at Bliss Retreat we saw weather balloon spaceships. We're not sure what it was, but it was cool. But this was my first like solo
Holy shit.
experience, and it was really like, oh wow, that was definitely what the fuck that was. Like there was no question. It wasn't a wonder. And then a couple times, like I've seen like weird lightning strikes, like in the middle of, I just like that just float, just a
Nowhere.
little flash of lightning, and I'm like, is this a glitch or something? I don't know.
I have felt that there are like glitches in the
Yeah.
Matrix. I'm not gonna fucking lie.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm getting old as hell.
Yes,
I don't know.
definitely.
But no, that's fucking wild. How I want to ask you, how was your dream state after seeing that ship?
I can't remember. I've actually had multiple dreams, visual, like astral project, whatever it is, where like I see stuff in my dream state. Like I've seen a ship that I feel really drawn
Mhm.
to, and it was like, and I was like, it felt like I was looking at it like remote viewing from my higher self's eyes. Like I was like tuned into her vision, and I
Right?
was looking at this ship. It was like a white ship. I've also had like apocalyptic types of dreams before as well. And like
Yep,
weird
same.
dreams where, like, a
Yeah.
recent one, I was either lucid or astral projecting. I'm not sure. I have brain fog from Graves' disease, so I like forget stuff. But I remember in it I was conscious, and I was saying, I want to talk to God. I want to find out what I can do for my mom. I want to go see this. I want to go to this dimension. And I was just like calling it, and it was like boom,
Yeah.
zoom, you're there. Have the quick interaction. Boom, zoom. I want to go here because I'm very all over the place, and I didn't want to stay in one place for too long. And I like kept going, and God presented as like
Yeah.
this African American man with like a afro, sitting at a in a cafeteria table.
So cool.
And I'm like, really? And he's like, this is what you wanted me to look like. And I was like, all right.
I would have thought of
So it
Morgan
wasn't,
Freeman.
so that, well, I feel like maybe that was like the vibe from that movie, but like he had like, it was more like almost, he was older, and he was like very just like happy wise.
Yeah.
It was really weird. And like
Yeah.
weird
That's
crazy
cool.
stuff. And then I've been had knee surgery, so like the other day, like my knee's been hurting. I'll go out to the living room, and I like had another thing where I saw with my eyes closed. I don't know if I was asleep or falling, whatever. And I saw like this boy in like the edge corner, whatever. And I felt my astral body like try to reach out for him. And I couldn't go. Like my
Hmm.
body was not letting me go and reach to him, and I wanted to. And I was channeling with my friend Jasmine, and she was like, she called, I was like, do you get anything from that? She called upon his energy, and she said, he said, I'm a being, I'm here to help you with your energy, I'm going to help you with like energy work. I'm going to teach you this whole new John, this like new thing to do. And I presented this way because you were scared, like you would have been scared of me the other way, so like I
Yep.
looked like this little boy. I was like, oh shit. So now, like, and then when she channeled him and he was talking, oh God, I felt this love that I've only had this a few times during visitation, like moments where like I was just enveloped with this big overwhelming abundance of love.
Oh,
It was like, what? Wow. I love it when that crazy stuff happens.
that's
It's
so
just like you
sweet.
can't even. Mm-mm.
Fuck yeah.
Nope.
It have you because the ship you mentioned, like I haven't seen that one. I see more of like a triangle one if I
Uh-huh.
were to like recall anything. But when you were on there, did anyone seem familiar that could possibly pose in this lifetime?
There was nobody on that ship. There was nobody. It was empty. It was empty. Well, there may have been people, but what I saw was like nothing. Um, there was one where there were other beings, and I was like lying on this table being like worked on, and my like higher self like was really trying to escape from there, and like she like
Hmm.
kind of like her energy kind of sucked out of the ship and out of like that table she was on, and then she was like floating in space by it. And I don't know if what was happening was, I think she was being restrained. So weird, but not to my
Mhm.
knowledge, no.
Okay. I'm just wondering if there's any messages from those ships that we're supposed to be paying
Mm.
attention to right now. I just, everything I do in life has
Yeah.
like some sort of
Oh
purpose,
yeah.
so I can't
Hmm.
help feel um, that this is supposed to be touched on. I mean, you did bring it up,
Yeah.
so like
Well,
we
let's
gotta
dive
dive
in.
into
Yeah,
it
let's
a little
dive
bit,
in.
okay? Yeah. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. You said you saw a
That was
apocalyptic type
a
as
long
well.
ass time ago. I saw apocalyptic kind of thing. Um,
I almost want to say that dream was right before a big breakup or before one of the people that you're connected with
yeah,
had a blowout.
perhaps.
Yeah, so it's almost like a
Hmm.
precog type of thing. You get your
Yeah.
precognition through your dreams. So for you in these ships, though, you said you felt love. You said it's almost like there's two different
Yeah.
parties running the game, right? I you're talking about the energy can go and lead us towards like a
Hmm.
shisty
Yep.
path, a shitty path, or
Yep.
we can up level. Well, I feel like your essence is almost the one up leveling, but you were able to see and examine what was happening on those other
Yeah.
ships, right? Because you said it felt
Hmm.
uncomfortable. It was like you needed to get the fuck out
Yeah.
almost. It was almost like you were being shown, like, look, there is good, there is evil, and it's presented through energy. How did you feel on here? This is going to be presented in your life through people that make
Mm.
you feel the
Oh.
same way. Get
Oh
them out.
yes. 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 Oh my God.
Okay,
Yes. There. Yeah, because
makes sense.
I felt stifled. I felt trapped. I felt like everybody's like hovering
Yeah,
over me and like and like manipulating me and like and putting all their stuff on me and their bleh. And then I literally like just whooshed
yeah.
out of there like fuck this, broke free, done. Peace. Peace.
I'm out. I don't want to be a part of that. It was almost like right then
Yeah.
and there you chose your side
Mhm.
in a way. Like, yeah. And I don't
Wow.
doubt, like, after that situation, that whole happenstance, that your
Mhm.
gifts were stronger, you were able to connect more. It was like you showed spirit, like, hey, I
Yeah.
see what the fuckery is going on. I see how I can come there. Like, there is a
Mhm.
purpose for that side. There is
Yeah.
lessons they're learning, like there is a purpose. It's to hold balance. And I think a couple years ago, because I wouldn't doubt that this was a couple years
Um,
ago, right?
though that one was within the last like few 6 months probably.
Okay, so your
Mm,
shift is happening recent. All right, so that to me tells me like we're starting to really wake up and pick our sides, and like you had an opportunity, and I feel like you've had a couple opportunities to not necessarily pick sides, but to pick where your energy can go. And when I say that, I want to give an example. So you can either become an alcoholic or decide
yeah.
not to, right? Do you see the
For
difference? Do you see
sure.
where the
Yeah.
energy can lie? It's gonna face you. You can you can go at it or move. I feel like you've been presented with a few of those, and this most recent one was like, all right, so you're sure because you mentioned being a Gemini. Like, are you sure this is the route you want to go? Are you sure this is the path you? It's almost like, yep, this is it. I don't want to be a part of that. I
Yeah,
want to
I'm
lead people to
Aries,
this.
but with a Gemini and Venus. But yeah, no, that totally makes sense. And there has been this like this relationship I'm in has been very cyclical. We've had it's been tumultuous. It's been
Mm-hmm.
like a lot of like unsurety and so a lot of ups and downs and I think that definitely I've that's been the biggest question battle and because there's times where I'm just like I see the good and I see the possibility and I see but then there's times where I'm just like done, and I think that's definitely a main one that but we'll
So
talk more about that later.
yeah, it just for you and the readers. Remember, we're not here for other people. We're here for ourselves, and sometimes we are other people's
Yes, yeah,
lessons. And by putting ourselves first, they start to
yep,
learn their lesson.
yeah.
I'm just gonna leave
Yeah,
that
man.
there.
No, yep. And I had one big boundary too was like the mother thing. Like, oh man, that
Hmm.
was that's been that was tough. And I finally began to like notice the shift when I started really um setting those setting those boundaries and like in a loving in just in a nice way but without fear attached to them or without it's like the energy you put toward like without worry that it was going to be received wrong sort of you know what I mean um
Yeah.
yeah, wow, this has been pretty awesome. Wait, you didn't tell me about any I want to hear a couple of your crazy things you've
Oh,
seen and then
fuck
we'll
yeah.
close it down.
Yeah. Yeah, no, no. So gosh, the one thing that I can tell you really like freaked me the fuck out. So I live in Spokane, Washington, so we have a bunch of mountains. I mean, like it's pretty green, like I mean, it's the evergreen state. So we have we have scenery, okay? So I'm outside and I'm looking towards a mountain that's by my house, and I'm literally just walking to my car. And out of the corner of my eye, the brightest green ball, like from a couple blocks away. I live in like a neighborhood, so a couple blocks away, this bright green ball comes shooting from the ground to the sky. And when I tell you, like, I thought someone had like lit a potato on fire and like launched it, but it wasn't. It like evaporated into the air. It was the weirdest fucking thing. I was like, do
Oh
we
my
have like
god,
plasma guns? What the fuck
I
do we
love
have
that you
now that I
said
don't know
lit somebody
that
lit a
I don't know
potato on
about?
fire and launched it.
I had no fucking idea. I was like, I don't know what
Who
can
is
fly that
lighting
far,
potatoes on
but
fire
it
right
like
now?
shot
You're
out.
freaking me out.
I mean, yeah, could you not get the fuck off, sir? Anyways, so I see this fucking ball of like green fire I thought was a potato launch into the air. Well, we had Facebook just starting out when this happened, and I get on there and I was like, yo, I'm pretty sure I just saw a fucking alien. Just joking. Well, then more and more people start posting, and they're not posting on my posts. They're starting to say, hey, did you see that light? Did you see this? Did you see that shit shoot
Whoa.
up, or am I high? Like everyone, it was more than one
That
person
saw
that
exactly
saw
what you
this,
saw?
right?
That's awesome.
Yes. Go to contact news, nothing. We don't know a goddamn thing. Yeah. That was, I mean, it's not cool or anything, but that was my like seeing something. But when it comes to working with them, um, I honestly think that ghosts and spirits are actually just ETs, in my opinion. So I work
I
with them
love
all the
it.
time.
Yeah, I like that opinion. So that would make me feel better. It's so funny. I have no problem. I have no problem tuning into higher dimensionals or tuning it and channeling, like channeling higher dimensionals and whatever. But when it comes to mediumship, I always like Yo, all right. Okay, hi guys. Welcome back. I am going to edit
Hi, Matt.
this episode but I am back here with T and we're going to try to close it out again after she tells me about working with her mediumship and working with aliens and her favorite alien to talk to.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Okay, I got you. So, yeah, you were talking about mediumship, and then it just like cut off. So,
Yeah,
is
that
that
was
one
weird.
you're like
So
struggling with?
well, so like I do it. I do it well. Maybe it's like I don't know what if it's like there's this underlying like. So I never so it's I never when I'm doing readings feel like that I need validation or anything because I just know I'm downloading, I'm flowing with spirit. We got this, we're good. But when I do
Mm-hmm.
mediumship, I feel like I have to validate, and there's this like pressure to like prove that the person is who they are so then I can get to the meat and the heart of it. And so then it trips me up and I just don't really mess around with mediumship that much unless it happens naturally. Like I've had crazy mediumship readings that I've done. I was at
Yeah.
an event in October and this girl came and she wanted to hear about her fiance that passed away, hear from her fiance. And I was like talking about he was showing me this motorcycle jacket, right? That had like
Mm-hmm.
patches on it. And she's like, I don't know what the fuck this bitch is talking about. Her sister's with her.
Yeah.
And then we kept going and we found out like then there was more and there was all this evidential stuff and it was really good and beautiful and a lot of messages of love came through from him and there was a lot of closure. But at the end, she had at some point, I don't know if her sister messaged or somebody, the dude, her fiance's best friend was getting married and he and his fiance were going to wear this like he was going to wear this jacket or they were going to have this motorcycle jacket there that with and they were going to put a patch on it that was a skateboard that was like for him and she didn't even know that this was happening but like her
Oh,
fiance knew and he gave me that. I'm like, and I think he gave me that because he wanted a message to go to his best friend too. And since his best friend wasn't sitting in front of me, that's what he gave me, like to reach out and say, like, yo, I see this, I know this, you're doing this, and like, thank you.
yeah.
Um,
You just gotta
so
trust, hun. Like seriously, trust in yourself.
I know.
I did a medium reading this morning, and for a couple, and you do have to look for those validations because you could be reaching onto other energies.
Mm-hmm.
So ask him for that. I was always preference. I have puzzle pieces that I need to put together. So if I'm asking you if these puzzle pieces go together, just nod your head.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Just nod your head. Um, it's
Yeah.
almost to the point where you literally have to go in this being completely fearless.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
record, I don't give a shit. You paid me to give you this session.
Yeah.
What needs to come through will come through. If you were looking for because I consider myself a hard reader, and you'll see that in some of my lives. I like to give straight, no sugarcoat answers. Like you're becoming an alcoholic, you need to stop.
I
Type of,
love it. Yes, I love that. I like
you
it
know.
because I'm not like that, and I need that. Like I want it. I'm
Oh
not like
hell,
that, but I want it for myself. You know what I mean?
no, I wish I could soften it up. I want to be you. Look, we should just be balance each other out.
Right.
No, it's the truth. Like when it comes to certain readings, you just got to be able to say, look, I know what you want to hear, but I'm going to tell you what we need to hear.
Yeah.
Okay. And if it's not resonating now, push it to the side. Just look at them and say, if you're not feeling this now, it'll come up later. It's just a rogue puzzle. That makes sense?
Oh, totally. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think I just need to do it more or maybe decide whether I want to. I think it's just like I need to decide, do I like doing mediumship readings or not? Is this something I want to do? Because whenever I do them, I love they could be so healing. They're really some of the most healing
Yeah.
of all
It's a
because
great gift.
think I just need to decide, all right, what's that, moon? Do I need to,
Right.
do I want to just say I'm a medium? I'm a medium. Like, I have to decide whether or not
Just be in it
I
because
want
you
to
are.
own it.
Like
Yeah.
there's no denying it. Like you are. You just have to decide whether or not you're practicing. Am I a
Right.
practicing medium or am I not? Because
That's
you
true.
are.
Yeah. That's exactly true. Because
Yep. And and then there's the word. Am I a practicing? So you gotta practice, right? And that comes with you saying, like when I first started, a lot of my medium stuff came through chakra readings. And I would say, "Hey, I'm feeling this. I have I have some medium gifts. Do you want to know?" And then once I started coming out of the closet and started telling people on my Facebook, "Hey, I'm straight up into that weird shit. I can talk to the dead. Let's do this." You know, once you start coming out of the closet, so to speak, your validations start coming. People start messaging you. I feel like I owe you more money. I feel like you gave me more than I needed. That's that's the validation you're going to work towards, okay? You still there? I don't know where she went. She could have lost. But anyways, this says it's still recording on my end. So if we have a
So I don't know. Why not to record a podcast while you're moving or during the finale of Mercury retrograde under the super full moon of fucking whateverness.
why couldn't I swear to God, why couldn't I have like a tech like
Yeah.
skill or like a Claire? Could I have a
Yeah.
tech Claire,
Right.
please? Thanks.
Full fucking moon. Make it regular time so that I can do this. So all right. Well, please I want to make sure we're able to close it out so I can edit
Yay.
this all together and make sense. So tell me where my beautiful friends can find you and book with you and tell us
Oh,
all good stuff.
thank you so much. Well, again, my name is Tianna Moss. I am owner of Northwest Intuition. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, or email me at northwestintuition@gmail.com. Like she said before in the beginning, I am a channeler. I connect to spirit. I do ET work, so extraterrestrial work. I'm pretty much a smorgasbord of spirit and fucking moving forward. So if I'm your cup of tea, if you like swearing, if you like getting shit done and don't mind a straightforward read, let's do it. Like bring it on.
Yes, I love it. And you know what I want to say, and this is actually probably going to be a shout out to my friend. Dude, Tia, you're in the Pacific Northwest. Look up Jessa Reed. She's a comedian and she has a podcast. It's called Soberish, but it's like all about
Yes.
alien stuff. She's dope and she's going to be in the Pacific Northwest like coming up like this weekend maybe, I don't know, doing comedy. She's fucking hilarious. So you got to go.
Let's do it. Oh my, okay, I'm down. Like,
Yeah,
that's
look
a
her up.
sign.
I'm gonna show you, like, I'll share with you the photo of her thing, and maybe you can catch her. And if not, like, she's funny. So
Hell
just
yeah. Well, thank you for bridging the gap. I appreciate
yeah, for
our little
sure.
talk and all
Yeah,
this
man.
fun stuff.
So fun. I can't wait to have you on again because I feel like we can just dive deeper, and then we're gonna go aside and we're gonna set up some readings for ourselves with each other,
Yes, yes. We
and
got shit to do.
gonna be lit. All right.
Fucking
Well, have
excited.
a wonderful, wonderful time smoking your bowl, and
Thank
I'm gonna go
you.
have some PPD for my knee.
Oh, get it, girl.
Wait, are mushrooms legal there yet?
I'm not yet. Doesn't mean I haven't been doing them.
Oh yeah, yeah. You expanded that mind with them mushrooms. All right, cool. We'll talk about mushrooms, mushroom trips, microdosing,
Oh, snap.
ayahuasca,
That's just
and more.
not that I've partaken in any of these illegal activities. Don't fucking find me.
I really think like mushrooms are so like I don't actually since I have become a sober person I haven't dabbled in them, but they are the one thing that I feel like um like I feel like alcohol and opiates, that's the worst of everything.
Yep.
And
Or they're like man-made.
mushrooms. I don't know about LSD because it's chemical and I'm all about natural, but like I dig on, like, I think mushrooms are cool, and if I was, I don't know if that'll be something that I ever tune into or not.
It's all
I'm not in
okay.
a place where I can meditate and get weird. Like, I feel, one more thing. All right, then we're gonna shut it down. Pleiadian energy makes me feel like I'm buzzing, or like this ascension, or like when I'm in the 6D element, I'm driving around, I'm like, I feel like I'm high and I'm not high. I haven't done any drugs. I've taken CBD, which is like not going to do that, and or like maybe I have these little herbal tonics that I get at an apothecary. Is that what's it? No, I feel like it's the energy, it's the buzz, it's the vibration, and like just natural, like getting with spirit. And when you're in a place that has a lot of portals and has a lot of angelic and ET energy, you feel like you're buzzed in like a easy flowy kind of way, not in a like, oh God, paranoid way. And I'm like,
right.
this is a freebie, and I'm gonna take these freebies that I'm getting because this is fun.
No shit.
But
Do it while you can.
all right.
Well, thank you for having me on.
Thank you. Have a wonderful afternoon or evening. It's wherever you are in the world on the West Coast.
Best Coast,
Enjoy
West
the
Coast.
forest.
Ow. All right. Bye,
I'm a hot cat. All right, see ya.
Bye.